get ready for a Scorpio Full Flower Moon happening in a Taurus year. This is happening during a Taurus year. And this occurs on May 12, 2025 at 4:56 p.m. in the late afternoon. And we're using tropical astrology and universal time coordinated. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. This is happening in Lunar Mansion Number 19, which is a Dewy Mansion of the Moon. Now, for all you fabulous sky watchers, the Stargates Shaula and Lesath are activated during this astrological arrangement, and it will cause you to be much more decisive and very much more resolute. So much so that you get to the point that you're going to actively commit to achieving your most imperative desires. You will seek out love relationships or friendships that really make you feel very protected and very established, secure and steady. You have a deep need to look for dedication, reliability, and devotion in a significant other or in a partner, whether it's romantic or a companion. And your searching will lead you towards fervently poignant interactions among the people with whom you spend your valuable time, really enjoying their company and enjoying the time you spend with them and the activities that you do together. It would be just very pleasurable for you. Now, ultimately, you and your partner are sure to develop a profound appreciation for knowing and providing for one another's most cherished yearnings, your most precious longings. Due to this occurrence taking place in Lunar Mansion Number 19, the political and the also economic unrest that ensues causes a condition ripe for people to begin to form emotional bonds with one another. And they're going to do this again because people kind of got to be isolated after COVID, and then they became, before that they were getting together and then became isolated during COVID. Well, this once again gives people a time to join together again, since, they start to need each other once more. This is reminiscent of the Occupy Wall Street movement years ago, when images of the Statue of Liberty holding her hands over her face were seen all over social media. Remember that? That was this mansion. It's the icon of Lunar Mansion Number 19. Someone didn't just, make it up out of nowhere. It's exactly Lunar Mansion Number 19. It's the specific icon for Lunar Mansion Number 19. It's ancient. That's why people that know these mansions in advertising or in political movements, they have an edge over people that don't know about it. Okay? This is the magical icon of the Mansion of the Moon, like we said, number 19, which is a woman holding her hands over her face to induce birth or her monthly cycle, which can be used as an economic or political form as markets went into the red during that time. Remember that? That was the bleeding of the markets. Okay? Now, the stars Shaula and Lesath are the stargates we access for star magic opportunities when Luna activates this lunar mansion. Now, find successful hunting and plowing of fields, profitable for pillaging urban centers and making war. So some people make war during this time. It's profitable for that. And also a transit that causes sorrow, much devastation, defeat, and displacement. Okay? So understand it has good and bad sides. Anything has good and bad. The lunar mansions are simply tools. It can be used for good or bad. And we're going to get into this more, but before you start saying, well, this is good and this is bad, sometimes people want to have like freedom movements or revolutionary wars and civil wars, and they feel that they want a good goal or a good battle. So it's up to the, one man's medicine is another man's poison. It's kind of very relative when you really think about it. All right, now, use a picture of a figurine of a woman. Okay, think of the Statue of Liberty, holding her hands upon her face and covering her eyes to induce birthing or a child, to induce birthing a child, okay, birthing her baby, or to cause a woman's blood moon to begin, or to induce a menstruation, or to induce labor, okay? From the tail of the scorpion in the constellation of Scorpio the Scorpion, spanning to the beginning of Sagittarius, with lunar angel Mutia and Lord Anusel. So that's the star span between the end of Scorpio and the beginning of Sagittarius. That's how this lunar mansion is spread out with the stars that happen during this mansion. Now, Luna will be in Scorpio 21 degrees 25 minutes and 40 seconds to Sagittarius 4 degrees 17 minutes and 9 seconds according to Abraham. The stars to wish upon during the 19th mansion of the moon, Al-Shaula is the name of the mansion. Al-Shaula are named Shaula and Lesath, that dwell in the Tel the Scorpion. This is according to Warnock. Ask the angel of Lambda Scorpii and Upsilon Scorpii, otherwise known as Shaula and Lesath. Okay, those are the other names of it. Lambda Scorpii and Upsilon Scorpii, who is named Amutiel the angel, to give you victory in attack of that which you would conquer. Sorceresses and sorcerers use this mansion to cause women whom they envy to bleed, to stop them from bearing children, or to cause a woman who is pregnant and needs to have labor induced because the baby's not coming, it's not coming out, to cause induced labor, to be used for good or for evil. And it can be used to start a period that needs to be started, or to make a woman bleed to hurt her. So it can be used for good or evil, as all medicine and procedures can be. The pen can be used for good or evil. Okay, so these things can be used either way. So the mansion itself isn't bad, but the things that can be done in it are good or bad, relying upon what side of the fence you're on when you're looking at the situation. All right, now, so again, this is it's done by the image of a woman holding her hands before her face. So Agrippa discloses that this is also a mansion with images of army battalions surrounding cities and towns, besieging them and destroying the riches therein, having their way with those they overrun, displacing people from their locations, breaking through obstructions placed upon streets, destruction of captives, annihilating seamen or sailors, separation of colleagues and associates for the purpose of obliterating their treasures are made and used to cause such things to occur and to, again, as we said, induce birth or bleeding from a woman's womb. Because a nation can be a woman, and a revolutionary war can be the bleeding. And it can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. It can harm or it can hurt, and sometimes it helps one side and hurts the other side. But that's the way life is. You can't have day without night. Okay, now the mansion also causes detainees to escape their captives and harvest to flourish, according to Warnock. Okay, now, to continue. According to Kabbalistic lore, Scorpio is ruled by Mars and also Pluto. Okay, and so since Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto, understand that Sagittarius, on the other hand, is ruled by Jupiter. The Scorpio birthstone is citrine, and the Sagittarius birthstone is turquoise. So you can use them to make talismans. This particular moon, flower moon, is in Scorpio, but in some years it's in Sagittarius. Because this it can be in both. Yeah. Now, star magic opportunities from star angel Amutiel would provide powerful forces for you to acquire your objectives when Scorpio's moons Shaula and Lesath stargates are activated by Luna. According to Ashmo, are the following: go on voyages, surround and overwhelm strongholds, then supplicate the enemy you find within to do your bidding. Cast or embed kernel seeds or seedlings. If you engage in matrimony, your spouse will prove to not be a virgin. So be aware of that, okay? No matter what they say. Now, neither agree to take charge nor custody of any person or object. Be mindful that you are neither detained nor imprisoned. Do not go aboard any boat nor ocean vessel, since it will probably not be working properly, or it will be a derelict craft. Acquire neither any associates nor contacts, and do not procure any attendant, retainer, nor helper. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next time for our next installment. And remember, these things can be used for good or evil. And also remember that every time, if you read the Bible and you read the stories about the wars and some of the things that happen, in the Bible, that causes those things to happen when you read it. When you see it on TV in a movie or a TV show, and you see it, it causes those things to happen when it's played over and over and over. The bigger the audience, the more you can make something happen if you play it over and over and over in a play, in a painting, a famous painting. Paintings of the Revolutionary War causes it to happen. People being displaced causes it to happen. Reading the story causes it to happen. The point here is that you should understand it and know about it so that you can make images of how you want things to happen, and do that for yourself and your family and those you care for, because these images are being bombarded at you constantly, and you can be mindful of what you're ingesting. Okay, so just understand that. I want you to understand it so you can use it for your own good and the good of those you care for. And if you think of what's good about a situation, even in the smallest situation, it'll turn out better and better and better. But if you think about what's bad in a situation and you think what's bad, it'll, even in the smallest thing, it'll get worse and worse and worse. Okay? So having the mind of the creator, or having the mind of God as the creator, or the creatrix, or the goddess, if you want to have the mind of nature, or of the consciousness, of the God consciousness that is the supernal consciousness, if you want to have that mind, think in this situation, which everything that's going on, what's good about it for me and my family, or for me and my group? What's good? How can our family or our group, how can we use that to our benefit? That's how you have to think, because there's always something good in it for you. And you can even think of it as a good thing. You know, it can also be a good thing for whatever's happening. There might be a good thing that's happening, like the Revolutionary War was bad for Americans, but it was also good for Americans because it was the birth of a nation. But there was blood, because blood in, blood out, right? That's the way it works. It was bad in Civil War and all that, but things that were bad got made better. So you have to weigh these. You have to see what's good. If you see what's good and you focus on that and push that forward, your situation, the situation of all those you care for, and the entire system will be better. The best thing you can do, if you don't want to think about yourself too much, is thinking about what is best for the whole system. And, you know, the whole universe, or the whole planet Earth, or the whole country that you live in, or your whole city, or your whole neighborhood, or your whole family, or just yourself. It really just what's best. It's not really about selfishness, because when you think about what's good in this situation, you are in the mind of the supernal creator, of the prime source, and from there you can guide things in a good direction. And that's the message. And it does work. But if you do it in the small things, take care of your pennies, and your dollars will take care of themselves. That's true. Okay, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time or next installment. Thanks. Take care.